What if I told you one man kept fighting a war for 45 years without knowing it had ended? That someone survived being swallowed by a whale? Or that one animal can reverse its own aging? These stories sound impossible, but every single one is true. From unbelievable survival stories to strange animals and ancient mysteries, here are 13 incredible stories that prove reality is often stranger than fiction.
Imagine fighting a war for 29 years after it had already ended. In 1945, Japanese soldier Hiroo Onoda was stationed on a remote island in the Philippines. When World War II ended, he believed the surrender was enemy propaganda. He stayed hidden in the jungle for decades, refusing to surrender because he believed his mission was still active. In 1974, his former commanding officer traveled to the Philippines and personally ordered him to stand down. Only then did Onoda finally surrender. Sometimes, history is almost impossible to believe.
His story became one of the most extraordinary examples of survival and endurance. But the next man faced a completely different kind of danger, one of the most powerful waterfalls on Earth.
Falling over Niagara Falls should be impossible to survive, but one man actually lived to tell the story. In 2003, 40-year-old Kirk Jones accidentally went over the falls without a barrel, a life jacket, or any kind of safety equipment. He plunged nearly 170 feet into the powerful rapids below. Witnesses were certain nobody could survive a fall like that. But against all odds, Kirk Jones survived with only minor injuries, becoming one of the very few people ever known to survive going over Niagara Falls. Sometimes, the impossible really happens.
Surviving the power of Niagara Falls sounds impossible. But the next survivor faced something even more unbelievable, coming face to face with one of the largest animals on Earth.
Imagine being swallowed by a whale and living to tell the story. It sounds like something from a movie, but it actually happened. In 2021, lobster diver Michael Packard was diving off the coast of Massachusetts when everything around him suddenly went completely dark. A humpback whale had accidentally scooped him into its enormous mouth while feeding. Packard thought he was going to die as he struggled inside. But after about 30 seconds, the whale surfaced, shook its head, and spat him back into the ocean. Amazingly, he escaped with only minor injuries. Sometimes reality is more unbelievable than fiction.
His escape was almost impossible to believe. But sometimes survival depends on something no one expects, like freezing cold water.
Doctors thought she was dead, but hours later, her heart started beating again. In 1999, Swedish skier Anna Bogenholm became trapped under ice after a skiing accident and remained submerged for about 80 minutes. By the time rescuers reached her, her body temperature had fallen to just 13.7 degrees Celsius, one of the lowest temperatures ever recorded in a survivor. Amazingly, doctors slowly rewarmed her body and her heart began beating again. She went on to make an almost complete recovery, becoming a medical miracle.
Anna's body survived conditions that should have been fatal. But while humans can survive incredible extremes, one tiny animal has developed an even stranger ability. It can turn back its own biological clock.
What if I told you there's an animal that can actually reverse its own aging? It sounds like science fiction, but it's real. Meet the immortal jellyfish. When it's injured or under stress, it can transform itself back into a younger stage of life instead of growing old. Scientists call this process transdifferentiation, where its cells change into completely different types, allowing it to restart its life cycle. It isn't truly immortal. It can still be eaten or get sick. But without those dangers, it can repeat this cycle again and again, making it one of nature's most incredible survivors. Nature never stops surprising us. That's your mind drop for today.
Imagine being able to become young again. But while some life forms can restart their own development, entire cities can disappear in a single day.
Imagine going to bed in a thriving city, and by the next morning, it had vanished beneath volcanic ash. In AD 79, Mount Vesuvius erupted with incredible force, sending massive clouds of ash and scorching gases across the nearby Roman city of Pompeii. Within hours, thousands of buildings were buried beneath layers of ash. The city disappeared, untouched for nearly 1,700 years. When archaeologists uncovered Pompeii centuries later, they found homes, artwork, food, and even everyday objects almost exactly where they had been left, offering one of history's most detailed glimpses into ancient Roman life. Sometimes, nature doesn't just change history, it preserves it. That's your mind drop for today.
Pompeii shows how quickly nature can destroy an entire city. But nature can also create relationships so strange that they seem impossible.
Imagine finding a tiny frog living beside a giant spider, and instead of eating it, the spider protects it. In South American rainforests, some tiny frogs live alongside large tarantulas. It sounds impossible, but both animals actually benefit from the partnership. The frog eats ants and other small insects that could damage or eat the spider's eggs. In return, the spider leaves the frog alone and helps keep larger predators away. Scientists believe both species recognize the benefits of this unusual friendship, proving that even in nature, survival sometimes depends on teamwork instead of conflict. Sometimes, the strongest partnerships come from the most unexpected places.
Sometimes, nature creates unlikely partnerships. Other times, humans create mysteries so enormous that they can be seen from miles away.
At first glance, it looks like a giant face carved into a mountain, but no human ever made it. For centuries, a rock formation known as the Old Man of the Mountain overlooked New Hampshire. From the perfect angle, it looked just like the profile of a human face. The face wasn't carved by people. It was created naturally over thousands of years as wind, rain, and freezing temperatures slowly shaped the granite. In 2003, the famous rock formation suddenly collapsed. Today, it lives on only in photographs, memories, and as one of America's most iconic natural landmarks. Even the greatest masterpieces of nature don't last forever.
Carving a face into a mountain is an incredible display of human ambition. But some places are shaped by nature and are so dangerous that most people are forbidden from visiting.
Imagine an island so dangerous that almost nobody is allowed to set foot on it. This place actually exists. Just off the coast of Brazil lies Snake Island, home to one of the highest concentrations of venomous snakes anywhere on Earth. These snakes evolved on the isolated island for thousands of years. With almost no land mammals to hunt, they adapted to feed mainly on birds, developing incredibly potent venom. Today, the Brazilian government strictly limits access to protect both people and this unique species. Only authorized researchers are allowed to visit. Sometimes, the most dangerous places are also the most protected.
Snake Island is a place where nature became almost too dangerous for humans. But far out in the Pacific, another group of islands became famous for a very different reason.
Imagine discovering a place where animals exist nowhere else on Earth, and it completely changes how we understand life. In 1835, a young naturalist named Charles Darwin arrived on the Galápagos Islands. What he found here would change science forever. Each island had animals that looked similar, but with small differences. Giant tortoises, finches, and marine iguanas had adapted to survive in unique ways. Those observations inspired Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection, a discovery that forever changed how we understand life on Earth. Sometimes the smallest islands can change the biggest ideas.
The Galapagos helped change how humans understand life on Earth, but some living things have been here far longer than we can imagine.
Imagine walking through a forest that existed before the dinosaurs ever ruled the Earth. Australia's Daintree rainforest is around 180 million years old, making it one of the oldest rainforests on Earth. Long before humans appeared, and even before many dinosaurs evolved, this rainforest was already home to ancient plants and wildlife. Some species found here today have changed very little over millions of years. Scientists call it a living window into Earth's distant past. Walking through the Daintree is about as close as you can get to stepping back in time. Sometimes the oldest places on Earth still have the most incredible stories to tell.
Some plants have survived since before the dinosaurs, but Earth's atmosphere can still create sights so strange that they feel like something from another world.
Imagine looking out your window and seeing the sky turn an eerie shade of green. It looks like the end of the world, but there's a scientific reason behind it. Before some of the strongest thunderstorms and tornadoes, the sky can take on a strange green color. It's one of nature's most unsettling warning signs. Scientists believe the color appears when sunlight passes through thick storm clouds packed with water and ice. The clouds scatter the light in a way that gives the sky its eerie green glow. A green sky doesn't always mean a tornado is coming, but it often signals an extremely powerful storm. If you ever see one, it's a good idea to head indoors and pay attention to weather warnings. Sometimes nature gives us a warning, if we know how to read it.
The green sky is a reminder that nature can create scenes that look impossible, but some of nature's strangest transformations happen beneath the surface of the ocean.
What if I told you one of the world's most famous fish can completely change its sex? It sounds like science fiction, but it's completely real. Clownfish live in small groups led by a single dominant female. Beneath her is the breeding male, followed by several smaller males. If the dominant female dies, something incredible happens. The breeding male begins transforming into a female, taking over as the new leader of the group. It's a natural survival strategy that helps the group continue reproducing without needing to find a new mate. Nature always seems to have a plan. Sometimes the most incredible survival strategies are hiding beneath the waves.